Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. Have you ever wondered what unites us despite all our differences? Why, in a world with billions of people, is each of us unique in culture, language, and traditions? What truly matters to Allah when He looks at us? Today, we will uncover a secret hidden in an important verse from the Quran, specifically from Surah 49:13, which reveals the deep meaning of the connection between all people. This verse not only helps us understand how to live in harmony with others, but also provides a key to building relationships based on respect and mutual understanding. We will delve into the interpretation of this verse to understand how the Almighty wants us to treat one another despite our differences and how we can draw closer to His pleasure. At the end of the video, an amazing lesson awaits you. One that could completely change your perspective on the people around you and on life itself. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us and discover how just one verse can transform your worldview. Don't forget to like, subscribe to Deen Delve, and be sure to share this video with those you want to pass on this important truth to. It is going to be interesting. Unity of human origin. Humanity shares a common origin, rooted in divine wisdom. Allah created people from one man prophet Adam, peace be upon him, and one woman, Hawa Eve. From them descended all nations and tribes. Despite outward differences such as skin color, language, or cultural traditions, all humans are bound by a shared nature. This truth reminds us that we are one large family meant to live in harmony. Yet, in today's world, people often forget this shared origin, leading to division, discrimination, and hostility. The issue lies in how people judge one another based on superficial traits such as nationality, social status, or material wealth. This leads to arrogance, inequality, and a loss of understanding. People build walls of hatred instead of bridges of friendship, forgetting that their true worth in the eyes of Allah is determined by their inner qualities, not external appearances. The solution is found in returning to divine guidance. Surah 49:13 reminds us, O mankind, we created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes, so that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware. This verse reveals the purpose of diversity. It exists for understanding, cooperation, and mutual respect. Allah desires that we recognize the value in one another, rather than building barriers. Allah's mercy in this verse lies in the fact that He created all people equal before Him, giving each person the opportunity to achieve nobility through piety. This lesson reminds us that superficial differences are a test, and our true task is to cultivate spiritual qualities and strive for unity. Realizing this helps eliminate prejudice and foster respect for every individual. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "People are as equal as the teeth of a comb. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have any superiority over an Arab, except by piety." Al-Bukhari, Muslim. This hadith emphasizes that Islamic ethics prioritize spiritual development above all else. May this lesson inspire deep reflection on our behavior. The unity of human origin is not just a historical fact, but a call to unity, friendship, and mutual respect that pleases Allah. Diversity of nations and tribes. Human diversity is a manifestation of Allah's wisdom. He created people different so that through this diversity they could learn about one another and develop meaningful relationships. Culture, language, traditions, and physical traits are not meant to divide but to strengthen understanding and friendship. History shows that interactions between nations enrich science, art, trade, and social values. This demonstrates that diversity is not an obstacle but a treasure that can unite humanity. However, the problem is that people often view differences as a source of conflict. Racism, nationalism, and cultural prejudices build walls that destroy unity. Instead of embracing diversity as a gift, humanity frequently uses it for division and superiority of one group over another. This results in injustice and a breach of the principles Allah has set for humankind. The solution lies in returning to Allah's words, which remind us that all differences are intended for a noble purpose. Surah 49:13 states, O mankind, we created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware. This verse highlights that the differences among people are meant for understanding, not division. Allah emphasizes that a person's true value is measured by their piety, not their nationality or status. Allah's mercy is evident in giving people the opportunity to learn from one another, enrich their knowledge, and build stronger societies. When people embrace diversity, they can advance culture, cooperate in science, and live in harmony. Each person should learn from this that respect and openness lead to blessings and strength and unity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "A believer to another believer is like a building. One part strengthens the other." Al-Bukhari, Muslim. These words remind us that despite our differences, we are interconnected and should support one another. Rather than focusing on differences, let us build bridges that lead to peace and harmony. The criterion of nobility before Allah. In Islam, the true measure of a person's nobility before Allah is not tied to their nationality, race, or wealth. Allah judges people based on their inner qualities, foremost among which is taqwa, God consciousness. Taqwa is a state of the heart that manifests in sincere devotion to Allah, adherence to His commands, and avoidance of what He has forbidden. It is the foundation of a Muslim's spiritual life, shaping their relationship with the world and others. Islamic teachings and history clearly demonstrate that it is taqwa that elevates a person in Allah's sight, not their outward appearance or social standing. Unfortunately, in modern society, many people place undue importance on external attributes. Material wealth, fame, or belonging to a particular nation often become the measures of success and status. This leads to arrogance, division among people, and the loss of true values. People forget that we are all equal before our Creator and that true human dignity is determined by inner qualities. The solution lies in returning to Allah's teachings. In Surah 49:13, Allah says, O mankind, we created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware. This verse emphasizes that the greatest value of a person is measured by their taqwa, not by material possessions or ethnic background. Taqwa is a marker of spiritual purity and sincerity before Allah. Allah's mercy is evident in granting all people equal opportunities to achieve nobility through sincere faith and God consciousness. This teaches us humility and reminds us that each of us is responsible for our spiritual state. It also removes arrogance in the pursuit of superiority, which are at the root of many conflicts. One must reflect. Their true worth is measured not by what they possess but by how they stand in the sight of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, Allah does not look at your appearance or your wealth, but He looks at your hearts and deeds. Muslim. These words remind us that our inner qualities and actions are of the utmost importance. Let us strive for taqwa, which elevates the soul and brings peace to the world. Allah is the all-knowing and all-aware. Belief in Allah as the all-knowing and all-aware is a central principle in Islamic teaching. Only Allah knows the true essence of every person, their thoughts, intentions, and actions. While humans judge one another based on external appearances, these judgments are often flawed or incomplete. For Allah, what is hidden is as clear as what is visible. He knows what lies in our hearts and judges with absolute justice. This understanding reminds us that a person's true worth is determined not by their outward appearance but by their sincerity and deeds, known only to the Almighty. The problem is that people tend to judge others based on stereotypes, biases, or limited knowledge. This often leads to injustice, conflicts, and false accusations. By failing to understand the true intentions of another, society may reject them, depriving them of opportunities to grow or find support. The solution lies in acknowledging that only Allah possesses absolute knowledge. In Surah 49:13, Allah says, "Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware." This verse emphasizes that Allah knows everything, including the inner world of a person. His perfect knowledge enables him to judge with justice, evaluating not only actions but their motivations. Humans, on the other hand, must remain humble and recognize their limitations in judgment. Allah's mercy is evident in the fact that He gives everyone a chance to be understood and valued fairly. No one will go without a just reckoning, as Allah sees even those deeds hidden from others. This truth inspires a Muslim to be sincere, avoid hypocrisy, and remember that their inner and outer being is under the watchful eye of the Almighty. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Indeed, Allah does not look at your bodies or appearances, but He looks at your hearts and deeds." Muslim. These words highlight the importance of purifying the heart and maintaining sincerity in intentions. If everyone remembers that Allah knows even their most secret thoughts, it will help avoid bias and injustice, replacing them with humility and compassion. Practical application of the verse in a Muslim's life. Islam teaches Muslims to build their lives on the foundations of respect, justice, and acceptance of diversity. The verse from Surah 49:13 reminds us that Allah created people with differences in language, culture, and appearance so that they may know and understand one another. These differences are not a reason for division but a source of enrichment and mutual cooperation. Understanding this helps Muslims establish harmonious relationships, recognizing each person as a unique creation of Allah. However, in today's world, there is a problem of bias and intolerance. People often judge others based on appearances, social status, or cultural differences, leading to conflicts and misunderstandings. This creates barriers that hinder interaction and deprive people of opportunities to learn from one another. The solution lies in understanding the words of Allah, "O mankind, we created you from a male and a female and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and all-aware." Surah 49:13. This verse teaches respect and fairness. Knowing that diversity is part of Allah's design inspires Muslims to look for virtues in others rather than faults and to understand that true nobility is measured by piety. Allah's mercy is evident in the fact that by recognizing the equality of all people before Him, a Muslim can find harmony in relationships. Realizing that all differences are part of Allah's plan helps avoid arrogance and hostility. Everyone should reflect, how does their behavior reflect respect for others? The practical application of this verse involves several steps. First, strive to avoid biases when judging others. Second, show genuine interest in the culture and traditions of others, seeing it as a way of enrichment. Third, aim for fairness in relationships, evaluating people based on their actions rather than external characteristics. These principles help Muslims build a peaceful society based on trust and respect. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "A Muslim is one from whose tongue and hands other Muslims are safe." Bukhari. These words inspire kindness and concern for the feelings of others, strengthening harmony and mutual understanding. In conclusion, the verse from Surah 49:13 reminds us of the profound meaning of our existence and the purpose behind Allah creating people with differences. It highlights that true nobility lies not in external attributes but in piety and sincerity before the Almighty. This verse teaches us respect, acceptance of diversity, and building harmonious relationships based on justice and mutual understanding. The mercy of Allah is evident in His wisdom. He has given us the opportunity to see differences not as a cause for division but as a path to unity. Allah wants us to understand the importance of sincerity, fairness, and kindness and to apply these qualities in our daily lives. By embracing this lesson, a person can become better, strengthen bonds with others, and draw closer to Allah's pleasure. We encourage you, dear viewers, to apply this verse in your lives. Strengthen your relationships with those around you by respecting their uniqueness and striving for piety. Let your actions be sincere and your heart pure. This will not only bring harmony to your life but also serve as an inspiring example for others. The Deen Delve team strives to create engaging and informative content for you to benefit from and share with others. We hope these lessons help you grow closer to Allah and lead a life of purpose and goodness. Please make sure to apply these teachings in ways that bring benefit to yourself and others. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Deen Delve channel, share it with others, and send it to your loved ones whom you wish well. Your attention and support enable us to continue our work. Dear viewers, remember, your life is an opportunity to become better, do good, and draw nearer to the Almighty. May Allah's mercy always be with you, and may your heart be filled with the light of faith. Thank you for your time and trust. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.